death is our final destination. We have to go that way. Now, as a Buddhist, as a believer, what we can do is only prayer for those people's soul no longer with us. But I'm quite sure, because they are a lifelong, I think, they carry spirit of freedom, liberty. I think maybe as a politician, sometimes maybe a little lie here and there, but basically these people truly stand certain spirit, truth, justice. So I'm sure, you see, these people, because of their good deeds, their lifetime, so certainly when they leave our planet, these virtues certainly help them. So that's my prayer. However, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize their kindness and the contribution. Our American friends have stood with us in the most critical of times and under most intense pressure. Mr. President, thank you for your strong support and for the warm friendship that Mrs. Bush and you have extended to me personally. Thank you. I am deeply grateful to you for your sympathy and support for Tibet and your firm stand on religious freedom and the cause of democracy. Then, Madam Speaker, you have not only extended an unwavering support to me and the just cause of the Tibetan people, you have also worked hard to promote the cause of democracy, freedom, and respect for human rights in other parts of the world. For this, I would like to offer my special thanks. The consistency of American support for Tibet has not gone unnoticed in China, where this has caused some tension in the US-China relations. I feel a sense of regret. Today, I wish to share with you all my sincere hope that the future of Tibet and China will move beyond mistrust on a relationship based on mutual respect, trust, and recognition of common interest. Today, we watch China as it rapidly moves forward. Economic liberalization has led to wealth, modernization, and great power. I believe that today's economic success of both India and China, the two most populated nations with long history of rich culture, is most deserving. With their newfound status, both of these two countries are poised to play important leading role on the world stage. In order to fulfill this role, I believe it is vital for China to have transparency, rule of law, and freedom of information. Much of the world is waiting to see how China's concepts of harmonious society and peaceful rights would unfold. Today's China, being a state of many nationalities, a key factor here would be how it ensures the harmony and unity of its various peoples. For this, the equality and the rights of these nationalities to maintain their distinct identities are crucial. With respect to my own homeland, Tibet, today many people, both from inside and outside feel deeply concerned about the consequences of the rapid change taking place. Every year, the Chinese population inside Tibet is increasing at an alarming rate. And if we are to judge by the examples of the population of Lhasa, there is a real danger that the Tibetans will be reduced to an insignificant minority in their own homeland. This rapid increase in population is also posing serious threat to Tibet's fragile environment. Being the source of many of Asia's great rivers and substantial disturbance, any substantial disturbance in Tibet's ecology will impact the lives of hundreds of millions. Furthermore, being situated between India and China, the peaceful resolution of the Tibet problem also has important implications for lasting peace and friendly relation between these two great neighbors.